Hello, and welcome to 5 for Friday for this Friday, September 9th, where we're perhaps finally all back into the back to school season. All right, I had fun sorting through this week's news, and I hope you enjoy the stories I selected. Of course, I don't just pick them out for their entertainment value, which there's no end of that, but also because I think they're signals of change that could indicate an opportunity for creative, growth-minded entrepreneurs like yourself to solve one of the problems that's posed in the news. So think about that as you listen to this week's 5 for Friday news stories. All right, let's start things off with story number 1, a regularly trending topic these days, the challenges of hiring. It appears that many of the 1/3 of millennials and Gen Zers who moved home with mom and dad during the pandemic are still at home. So does that mean they're working remotely or open to a job in their new hometown or old hometown? Or are they living off their parents? Maybe a combination, but think about that. Also, be careful if you do work remotely or have people that work remotely, as a survey of managers showed that nearly half of managers forgot about remote workers when making assignments, and 2/3 of them consider remote workers easily replaceable. Of course, right now is a great time to switch jobs if you are forgotten, since those who move to a different employer end up getting paid 8.5% more than at their previous job. Hopefully that bodes well for even the thousands of people getting laid off at T-Mobile and Snapchat. Some of those poor Snapchat folks were cut off from technology at their office before they were even told they were laid off. Bad timing. At least Google isn't laying off. They are just asking everyone to be 20% more productive. Sure thing. That sounds like an easy ask. All right, on to story number 2, climate change and the business world. There are a couple stories this week indicating that climate change is having an impact mainly on the poor supply chain that never seems to solve their problems. Chinese factories are shutting down due to a record-setting drought, and they're unable to deliver parts to the U.S. yet again. So, meanwhile, doing business in California is tricky due to the heat wave, risk of wildfires, and the need to limit the use of electricity. There are opportunities to address climate change with new products such as notification systems that tell you when a fire or flood is coming your way. So keep looking for the opportunities in this area. All right, story number 3. We're seeing some huge companies expanding into the healthcare world, including Walmart partnering with United Healthcare and CVS acquiring a practice of 10,000 doctors that provide in-home healthcare. Lots of disruption here, so plenty of room for improvement for entrepreneurs. All right, story number 4. Let's talk about business travel, or the lack thereof. It sounds like we won't ever get back to the rate of business travel that happened pre-COVID. It's too easy to do things remotely, we discovered. Google is severely limiting travel. Maybe that's not productive. And even though hotels and employees are encouraging the blending of business and leisure travel, I think they'll sell it better to their bosses if they come up with a better term than what's being used now. Bleisure. Keep spinning that, folks. All right, and United is hedging its bets by investing in 4-passenger electric aircraft. So maybe my Jetsons dream will come true. All right, story number 5, robots taking the jobs we hate. That includes a robotic wok at Panda Express taking over the job of stir-fry chef. And the world of distribution is about to experience big-time disruption in the form of robots, drones, and self-driving trucks, as witnessed at the Home Delivery World Trade Show this week. In Japan, they've created a robot that restocks bottles and cans in the fridges of convenience stores, which sounds super handy. And police in Kentucky are hoping to use a spot shotter drone to investigate when shots are fired, determine if medical help is needed, keep track of the shooter, make sure they were actually gunshots, and follow the shooter and the victim by camera. Is that good? Bad? What do you think about that one? This week in Recession, Yes or No, there are 6 yes stories and only 2 no stories. The best I can say is that things are looking better in the US than they are abroad. And if you enjoyed the 2 bonus stories last week about the coast-to-coast Italian food tragedy, then please take a few moments to listen to this week's 2 bonus stories about toxic masculinity. First, apparently if you are a big wig executive that is male, or is that just a given, then too bad for you, it's time to step away from your desk and show off those muscles. Yep, ripped abs is the new thing for these old white men. Makes me grateful I'm merely a female entrepreneur. And finally, it sounds like tech billionaires are planning for the end times. They are buying up and fully stocking huge luxurious bunkers along with military security to help them survive whatever apocalypse might occur in the coming years. that nuclear war, climate change disaster, robot war? Who knows, but they're ready for it. And that's it for this week's 5 for Friday. Thanks for listening and have a great weekend.